Hello geeks and welcome back to Everyday Normal Greek. This is Tamadis and today we're back in our wonderful Infinite Flight Simulator, and again today with you with another short hop flight on the expert server of Infinite Flight Live. And we're starting here. We're currently in Quito, Ecuador, and in particular we are at the International Airport of Quito, the Sierra Echo Quebec Mike airport, also called Mariscal Sucre International, and we're going to have a really nice, beautiful flight all the way to Bogota in Colombia. It would be a short hop flight. More or less, it's expected. The expected flight time is about 1 hour 15 minutes. Our assigned flight level for today is 35,000 feet. We are flying today this beautiful A320-200 of AVIANCA airline. So we are executing this AVIANCA flight. It's with flight number 8372. So we are flying this AVIANCA 8372. And we're carrying today, let's open the details. We're carrying today with us like 163 passengers, 5 tons of cargo, and on our fuel tanks we have just a bit above like 7,600 kilograms of fuel, more than enough for this short hop 1 hour and 50 minutes flight. As we can see around, like in this check, it's not a very busy airport right now in Quito, but we expect to have a lot of traffic and possibly ATC service again in Bogota as we will be landing, and hopefully this time the game will not take these weird flexes and we'll be able to have like a more normal landing than the previous video. So let's not lose any more time. Let's just jump in the cockpit. We see we're like in dark cockpit right now, so let's just go through our checklist and just bring this bird on. So let's start by putting the master switch on the electrical stub, and then we did the briefing right now. I just briefed you very shortly about our flight. We see that our screens here are starting, and while the electronics are starting, the avionics are starting, I see them, they're on. So let's confirm that our brakes are set, checked, our throttle is on idle, spoilers are off, check, flaps are retracted, correct, and we have to turn on the no smoking sign, and we have to file now our flight plan. So the flight plan is fairly simple. We're just going to take the Arno 1A seed away from Quito and follow some waypoints through the way. So let me just, if this allows me, let me just put it down. I think there is a plane. Oh, whoa, wait. I think there is a guy here. Yeah, I think this guy just landed. This Lufthansa cargo just landed here. Awesome. Cool. So yes, let's continue on with our before start checklist, and our no smoking zone. We were filing our flight plan. So let's go here. And let's just file our flight plan. As you see, it's not very big. We start here at Sierra Echo Quebec Mike. We will fly the, as I told you, Arno 1A SID. Then just this is probably our top of climb, and here probably the top of descent. So not very much cruise time. Then we will just land with the Abul 1L terminal arrival on all the way down to Sierra Kilo Bravo Oscar in Bogota. So our flight plan is there. Let's check that everything is alright. We're departing runway 36 from Quito. You see, we're just going north, take this right turn, fly all the way above the Amazon, I guess, cross to Colombia, and then just come approach the airport from the west side and line up for the 13 left. In Quito, the flight plan seems correct on its initial form. So we will just have to push back towards the left and just exit the ramp and go towards 36. And okay, so let's continue on. The flight plan is the flight plan is filed. Fuel quantity we just checked together and we're good. 80s, we don't have 80s here. We will just have to connect to Unicom, and let's just go ahead and just tune into Unicom right now. Weather, let's check the meter, and it seems that we will have 7 knots from 100 degrees. So as we will be flying, the wind will be coming from the front and a bit to the side. Visibility is at 4,000 right now, and it has overcast at 300 feet. So okay, like it's not very accurate right now as a presentation in infinite flight of the visibility, but if we were playing, like if we were in reality, it would be a bit like foggy, let's say. Right now 13 degrees of Celsius in temperature, 13 degrees the dew point, so it's pretty close to rain right now here. QNH is 1029, but we don't care about that because we don't have, this is not simulated in infinite flight, and other than that it's no SIG. So I guess the weather is pretty good here, except that might rain, but we don't care because this is not simulated in flight, like winds are calm. And let's put the autopilot altitude to 35,000 feet. Okay, 34, 35, and turn our seatbelts on. We will hear the announcement from the cabin soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Stephanie, and on behalf of the entire crew, I would like to welcome you.
And let's go open our navigation lights.
I would like to ask you to turn any
and our beacon lights, strobes and landing lights are off. Pushback clearance, we haven't received pushback clearance because there is no ATC service right now, but let's go ahead. We're tuned in the Unicom, so let's go ahead and pushback. Pushback started, and let's go all the way to start our first engine. So we're going through our startup checklist. So throttle is idled and engine 1 start. Let's just monitor that it will stabilize. When it's stabilized and we have ended our pushback, we're going to start engine number 2. The engine 1 has been running okay, and the N1 is stable at 20%. So when we stop the pushback, and right about here, we're going to start engine number 2 now. Let's jump back inside and let's monitor this from the inside this time. Engine number 2 should be stable, and let's go to start working through our taxi checklist. Seatbelts are on, is checked, we can see it also in the screen. No smoking is on, checked. Takeoff flaps should be set. Today we're setting this to 1.
Flaps 1.
Trim should be set to positive 30%. It's pretty good, I guess. Flight controls, so we should test the flight controls. The engine, the number 2 engine is stable as well, so let's check the flight controls. So like forward pitch, back pitch, left roll, right roll, left rudder, right rudder, like controls are correct and free. Taxi clearance, we don't have to take taxi clearance, but to announce that we're taxiing towards the runway, so we're just announcing we're going to runway 36.
Mariscal Sucre Unicom.
And we release brakes.
372, taxiing to runway 36.
Brakes released, and let's go.
And ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to ask
Allow me
you
to turn the hood on
attention
as
to the
well.
monitors above us.
Okay, so we're approaching slowly runway 36. Pretty uneventful taxi, and let's go ahead and prepare. Anyway, we will have direct departure out of 36, so let's go and go through our before takeoff checklist, like spoilers are retracted, check, takeoff flaps are set to 1, checked, trim is 30% set for takeoff, check, cabin should be ready just by giving them this sign. Takeoff clearance, we're going to receive it right now. Strobe light should be on and landing lights should be on, so let's go ahead and open our lights. Strobes and landing lights are on, and let's go ahead and take our takeoff clearance. So takeoff from 36, departing north, of course.
Mariscal Sucre Unicom, Avianca A320 is taking off runway 36, departing north.
Let's check the radar. It seems pretty clear in the approaches and departures. We're just alone in the airport right now. Our V speeds for today would be like V1 at 142, rotation on 144, and we should be airborne at 146 knots. The elevation of these two airports are also pretty high. We are currently at 7,920 feet of elevation. So we're just entering runway 36 now. We should be hearing this on the announcement.
36.
Yep. So we confirm this. Let's slow down a bit to take the final turn for the lineup. Okay, we're on 36. We have the clearance, so let's pull up the engines to around 40% N1. See that they're stable. They seem stable, so toga. Takeoff thrust is set, airspeed is alive. A bit higher toga today due to the higher altitude.
80 knots.
Cross-checked.
V1, rotate. V2. Positive rate.
Gear up.
Gear up.
Okay, when we reach around 2000 HEL, I guess. We need to maintain high speed now because we want to climb fast. So let's open the autopilot and lock our altitude and vertical speed to 3000 feet per minute. Maybe to 2500. A bit less, but we need this to be as high as possible. Let's lock our nav right now to follow the direction. We are above ground, at least we're 2900 right now of AGL. When we hit 200 knots, I'm going to retract my flaps. Oh, what a beautiful scenery, really. It's really between the mountains, this airport. What a beautiful scenery. Okay, so flaps up.
Flaps up.
And let's maintain higher ascent, 2800, to clear off the mountains fast. And since we're above 10,000 feet, we will not hold 250. We're just going slowly, try to accelerate all the way to 300 knots, which is like our assigned knots for climb, and 0.78 Mach after 28,000 feet. Our cruise speed is 0.76 Mach for today. Mach speed, not Mach. What a beautiful plane and what a beautiful scenery, really. We're just flying above Quito. The airport is far behind us. Really nice. Let's use the arc here to have a clearer picture of where we're going. So I guess there's a right turn right now coming towards us. Left side is clear, right side we're clear of mountains. I guess we're pretty good altitude right now. Let's go ahead and reduce a bit our descent, our ascent speed, our vertical speed to 2500 again, and let the plane speed up a bit more. Beautiful scenery, really. And since we are above 10,000 feet AGL, we're going to close the seatbelt sign, allow the cabin to start serving their classic, the usual service. So let's go through our climb checklist. Gear is retracted, check. Flaps are retracted, check. Trim should be set a bit lower, I guess, to around 25%. Autopilot is fully engaged except the speed which we're going to arm at when we reach 300 knots. LNAV is engaged and working properly. Landing lights, we should turn them off. We're above 10,000 feet AGL right now, so landing lights are off. Seatbelts are off, no smoking remains on, and our climb checklist is complete. We're about 2000 below our cruise altitude. Pretty normal and smooth climb, very fast as well because we wanted to avoid the mountainous terrain. So let's go slowly through our cruise checklist, which is pretty small. So cruise speed will be set when we reach the altitude. Trim should be left to 25%. I guess it's good. I don't see the controls right now to fight the trim. It's pretty well balanced. Again, the buzzer that we are 1000 below. Fuel quantity, let's check it. Fuel quantity is pretty good. Let's check it here as well. We're at 6,640 kilograms of fuel, which would be more than enough right now. Autopilot, we checked it and set it. Let's set our cruise speed to 0.76 Mach. As we said, LNAV is checked, so let's make another final check on the LNAV. Yes, we just passed Bocan, I think, and we're heading all the way north. Seems pretty clear to me now, and Bogota seems that it still has ATC services. Let's hope that they will have the services when we arrive there. We have around 48 minutes estimated. Okay, and here we are back. We're out about 20 minutes from Bogota airport. If we open our flight plan here, we'll see we're just passing above the ULK waypoint. Then we have to go through Livop and Tolim, and after Tolim it's our planned top of descent. I think that we will have around Tolim to start descending, maybe even earlier, maybe even after this turn, to start slowly descending, because I want to descend, you know, I don't want to do a fast descent, but rather like a slow, smooth descent in low speed. I checked a bit the vertical profile of our flight. It seems that just before the airport, if we approach from the to the planned runway, which is 31 right now. So if we approach from the 31 right, so from the north, so to the north there is some mountains according to the vertical profile that extend all the way to flight level, like to 10,000 feet of altitude. These mountains extend to 10,000 feet. I see that our minimum safe altitude should be around 30,000 feet MSL. I'm talking about MSL altitude. And we have to always keep an eye down on the bottom of my information for the AGL altitude as well, not to approach very close to it. The elevation of this airport is 9,000 feet. That means that the MSL altitude on the ground will point at 9,000 feet. Unfortunately, in Infinite Flight, that's a problem, because there is a problem because Infinite Flight is not simulating the QNH altimeter, so we cannot adjust our altimeter based on the barometric pressure of certain areas that we fly in. That's what is happening in real life. So now we have kind of to monitor the AGL altitude, so our absolute distance, you know, our absolute distance from the ground as it is measured from the organs of the plane, and also check our MSL altitude as it is displayed on the on our HUD or in our altitude screen here, which is, as I understand, the barometric pressure is set to something like sea level or something like that, the QNH, but it cannot be changed. So we have to make this like to extract the feed to see where we are. So I want to be around 30,000 MSL as I'm approaching the airport, and I see that we're just arriving there fastly. So let's just start our descent slowly. So let me open the autopilot and just set the altimeter to like 13,000 feet MSL. The altimeter, of course, in the autopilot is in MSL, and let's just descending with a moderate vertical speed, 1,800 feet per minute. I'm gonna keep my speed low because I want to approach low. As I see in the map, it seems that the airport is staffed. I don't know if we can hear the 80s yet. We cannot. I suspect that here these runways 13 left and 13 right are used. So yeah, sorry, I said 31, that we would approach from 31, but no, we are going to approach from 13, so from the north, okay? So it seems that these are in use, but we will turn 80s as soon as it's possible for us and check what information we can get from there. Meanwhile, we're just descending, and let's go a bit through our approach checklist, which are actually, it should be descent checklist right now. So descent checklist is just like the briefing that I just told you. We're landing in Bogota, the elevation is 9,000 feet. Probably we're going to use the 13 left runway, and we should expect like ATC, not a lot of traffic as I see, not a lot of traffic as I understand. Let's go, let me turn on the hood as well to have full view of what we're doing. We're going to descend with 0.76 as we're descending now max speed. Below 21,000 feet we're going to change to 290. I want to go a bit slower than 300, and we should continue on, and there is no approach controller right now as I understand, so there is just our ground. So we should go on our planned approach on ourselves, and we should be careful not to deviate, and should be careful of our surroundings, because you see we're just landing onto the mountains. I want to go slow and smooth, so might be that I want to drop the Mach a bit more to 0.75 for now. And monitor the waypoints and our AGL and MSL altitude all the time. So we are above Tolim. That means that we passed quite high elevation peaks, mountain tops, and we're just heading towards a plateau. That means that we are free to continue our descent all the way to 13,000 feet. That would be safe to continue this all the way to 30,000 feet. So I guess we're good for now. And I'm just gonna monitor when we're about at 18,000 feet AGL. I'm going to turn on the seatbelts on to allow the cabin to prepare. Be careful, like notice when we're at 18,000 feet AGL and not at MSL. And when we're close to 10,000 feet AGL, I'm going to turn on, of course, like landing lights, monitor our speed. But of course now we're just going below 28,000 feet. Let's keep the speed to 280 actually. It's a good speed, I guess. Let's check if we can tune into the airport 80s right now. Yes, we can. So let's hear what the 80s has to say to us.
El Dorado Airport, ATIS Information Echo, time 0756 Zulu, wind calm, visibility 21, temperature 12, dew point 7, QNH 1029, landing runways 13 right and 13 left, departing runways 13 right and 13 left, advise on initial contact,
Okay, so we have information echo from the 80s. Visibility is a bit low at 2,100 kilometers or 21 kilometers. Let me check the 80s. Let me check the meter. Sometimes it's just mixed stuff up. Okay, not flying all the time, so probably 21 kilometers if the meter there is correct. 13 left, 13 right are the runways used, and we should advise that we have the tower. We should advise that we have information echo, but of course the tower will be able to tune in way after. We should be much closer to the airport. Okay, we can't tune in with tower, so let's tune in and monitor a bit the tower, and meanwhile let's see if we can. I will not set the nav. Probably I will wait a bit and just contact tower when I'm below 10,000 feet AGL. We're below 12,000 feet AGL, so let's start preparing. Let's reduce speed to 250 knots. Our seatbelt no smoking is on. We should be ready to turn our landing lights on in a few seconds. And after we drop below 10,000 feet, we're going to contact the tower. Yes, calling band for landing. Let's request 13 left and see what will happen.
El Dorado Tower, Avianca 8372 is 25 nautical miles to the northwest at 14,800 feet, inbound for landing with information echo.
We're below 10,000 feet right now.
Left.
Anyway, it's not very busy. If he can, he will give it to us.
Avianca 8372, enter straight in runway 13
Okay,
left.
so we just got clear to enter in 13 left.
13 left, Avianca 8372.
And let's go ahead and set the 13 left on our nav. Yes, this is set. Let's go now on our nav and make sure that I'm not doing the same mistake like before. So it is set on nav 1, I see it. When I take this turn from Amves, I'm going to line up with the runway and then just change source, but let's reduce our speed a bit more now to 230. Let's turn on our
Flight spoilers
spoilers. Technically we're very close now, yep. So let's reduce speed all the way to 180. Okay, let's flaps 1.
Flaps 1.
Let's keep losing some altitude. Flaps 2.
Flaps 2.
Okay, and now let's change. Let's keep this heading. Let's keep present heading. So turn off the L nav. And let's change the source to nav 1. I see that the localizer is alive and the glide slope is alive, so we have captured them both. So let's turn on the approach. Perfect. We're 15 miles out right now. Let's turn off our spoilers.
Spoilers retracted.
Let's go through our approach to finish our approach checklist. So briefing complete. Okay, like yes, weather check, seatbelts are on, no smoking is on, checked, 80s check, landing lights are on, cabin should be ready right now. LNAV is engaged.
372, number 1, runway 13 left, cleared to land.
We have the clearance to land.
Cleared to land. Runway
LNAV is
13
disengaged.
left, Avianca
Approach is set
8372.
and engaged. Flaps are being set and are on progress. So our approach checklist is complete. Sorry, spoiler should be armed. I forgot about this. Trim is set correct. Gears should be down soon. As we're approaching even closer, we're going to lower our gears. Weather seems pretty good. So we're 10 miles out. Let's further reduce our speed to 160. And flaps 3.
Flaps 3.
And gear down.
Gear down.
We have the landing clearance, everything is good, so we're just going on with our landing. We have visual with the airport as well. But let the autopilot go a bit more.
El Dorado Tower, FedEx 412, ready for takeoff at runway 13 right, departing straight out. FedEx 412, runway 13 right, cleared for takeoff.
Okay, the autopilot has some
Cleared
issues
for
here, I
takeoff,
see.
Runway 13 right, FedEx 412.
Let's put flaps
I'm
full.
sorry, Air France A321 heavy.
Okay.
El Dorado
Seems
Tower,
more
Air
stable
France
now.
A21 Heavy is 15 nautical miles to the northwest at 31,500 feet, inbound for landing, requesting runway 13 left. Air France A21 Heavy, descend to pattern
We're
altitude.
6 miles
Descending to
out,
pattern altitude.
so
Air France
speed,
A21
let's reduce
Heavy.
speed to 140. And wait a
El
bit to
Dorado
drop.
Tower, AVIANCA 214, ready for takeoff at runway 13 left, departing north.
And let's wait till the aircraft speed ups a
AVIANCA
bit.
214, runway 13 left, cleared for takeoff, fly runway heading until at or above 11,000 feet.
Okay, pretty
Cleared for
crazy.
takeoff, runway
So
13 left,
autopilot off,
AVIANCA
I have the plane.
214.
We're just gonna be careful this time with our approach speed. No side wind. We're just following in on the glide slope. I still have these navigation aids. Even though I should just remove them at some point, you know. I think we need just a bit more positive trim. Yep. 140 is good, I guess, as a speed. Slow down a bit. Okay, we got the puppy lights also, like, so we have a visual with the runway. The AGL altitude again is stuck for some reason, so I don't get the callouts from the automated system for 500, 400, etc. But nevertheless,
FedEx 412,
we will survive.
change approved, good day. Thank you, good day. FedEx
Okay.
412.
Almost there. We're good, we're good. Okay, we should return now.
Landing spoilers extended.
Okay, good. And let's put like our speed. Let's line up a bit. $70 knots.
AVIANCA 8372, exit
Let's
runway
brake.
when able, contact ground on the taxiway.
Okay, and let's just turn here.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your safety and
We just
comfort,
arrived
please
again.
remain
Again,
seated
some
with your
problems.
seatbelt fastened and
Again, some
further fasten
problems.
seatbelt fasten seatbelt down.
from Infinite Flight.
Avianca 8372.
Avianca 214. Frequency change approved. Good day.
We survived though.
Frequency change approved. Avianca 214. Good day.
Let's contact the ground.
Eldorado Tower, November 851 Tango Bravo, ready for takeoff.
Parking.
Eldorado Ground, Avianca 8372. Request taxi to parking.
Avianca 8372.
Okay, we have
taxi to
clearance to
parking.
taxi to parking.
Taxiing to parking.
So let's go here to the left. All the way to the gate. Amazing. Let's go a bit further. And Let's brake here. Okay, let's set the parking brakes. So parking brakes, the servo throttle is idle. Let's go straight to our engines. Engine 1 stop. Engine 2 stop. Seatbelts off. Perfect. We keep the no smoking on. We go to navigation lights and we turn them off. We just leave the beacons on. And let's go to our flight plan and clear it. Perfect. And we're just leaving the master suites for now, just to let the passengers disembark. And here we are just outside. We just arrived safely in Bogota. Again, some issues in infinite flight. This altitude AGL is quite wrong. It should have been at 0 right now, but it's at 3,706 feet. I don't know why. Thank you for being here with me, for joining me in this short flight. Hope you enjoyed the gameplay in Infinite Flight Expert server. Hit smash the like button if you like this video, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button to get all the latest activity of my channel on your YouTube homepage. Thank you, and thank you again. Hope you like Infinite Flight. Just write me down in the comments what you think about it, what you think about my flight skills as well. But really, I haven't been given the chance to do a proper flight, to a proper landing with you right now. I hope this landing was better than the previous one. I was Tomatis, you were in Everyday Normal Greg. Stay tuned for more videos like this and even more games on my channel, and I will see you next time. Bye.